First, I'd like to ask you, Meena, what was in your thoughts when you started this series?
Actually,
what was motivating you? What was the circumstances which brought it about? Why did you do this?
that is a question, but again, it's all instinctive. I just do it. And this particular figure, this particular artwork always fascinated me. I mean, it's with me. So I was playing around with it, and then images were coming. Then I'm interested in technology, so playing around with different packages, different things, and then the images were emerging. So I don't know. I would rather people like you tell me what was in my mind.
Okay, I'll just tell you my kind of personal responses. This is not an analysis. This was just the mind working when I saw those images. There's definitely a form, a faceless form. And it is overlaid by a whole variety of images. So you can say it's the direct interface between the unconscious and the conscious. Conscious being form, and the unconscious being the images behind. It could be the interface between various realities. The concrete reality, the abstract reality, and the third reality, which is pure light. So we live in all these levels, and your paintings could be a depiction of all kinds of levels coming through in one piece of art. And it also struck me that is the woman the sense of I made into form and interacting with the non-I?
Probably you're right, because it is the static figure there. And so everything else is going around it.
Yeah.
So I just did it, There was no preconceived idea. You just pick up. Sukrita is a very instinctive artist. So I think you would probably know how it comes.
No, you're right. I mean, it becomes very, very difficult to interpret. And I can understand your not confusion, because you say, well, I did it. It's a very affirmative kind of thing. But if you were to psychologically figure out, then you would only have to do it as an afterthought. It will not be while you are in the process of doing it. So some of us begin to think of it. I refuse to do it with my poetry, for instance. I don't even ask myself the question, how come I wrote this?
Yeah.
Why did I write this? I don't do that, because I don't want to intellectualize it, and there is no definitive answer anyway.
That's
and
true.
I think you used that term somewhere about ambiguity. There's a phrase which is a very touching phrase. I'm trying to recall what was that. Something about the play of ambiguity. It is ambiguous, like life is ambiguous. A lot of things that happen. There isn't any point to be proved, or nor is it proved. It's a false thing when we make a point and then say at the end, QED, point proven. A lawyer might be able to do it. Poets can't. Artists can't. So
the question is
No, it's not a question. I like to make observation. I'm there. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have a privilege of introducing myself. I'm Dr. Suneet Sachar. I happen to know Meena ji from the days when I was the Times of India, and 88 onwards, I should say, that the association grew. She has always been the first big painting exhibition that she had. In that, I just insisted and got her very nice painting in which a figure was there, and there's all fire all around. I had given my depiction to that. I said, this is the fire of desire. And so many desires that a person is having, they all are coming out over here, and in the desire burns a man trying to compete and reach out and realize whatever they want to realize. From there, today what I saw of her art, there's a lot of transition. In the transition, you're finding calmness, coolness, solitary. Her observation has been very, very, very good. Patilji, Paul Kumar, very good observation. She analyzes extremely well. Relationships by name, it's the multiple shades of multiple emotions which are just playing with anybody individually at the same given time. And that is what has probably come out in the art that she has revealed.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening to me.
Thank you. I think Sangeeta has a question. Yes, please.
I don't have a question. I will say how I see her work.
I have known Meena since I came to Delhi. That was the year 96, 97. I had an exhibition in IFX. And we have a common link called Keshav Malik. He was one person who encouraged the artist and the poet. And, there are three people sitting, two on the desk and here one, who are into art and poetry both. So, all the questions which I will answer on behalf of Meena, if she permits, how I see her art or her poetry. Mala, your question that why it is the colors when we are talking about a particular title. What is art? Art is basically to find yourself. It is a search of your own self. And if for me that figure which is faceless or has a side pose, मैं as an artist उसको देखती हूँ तो we artists, we always find the back of the woman very very artistically, aesthetically it is very erotic for the artist to see the back portion of the woman. Even when I was doing figurative work, I have used that. It is not that when we are painting, at that particular point of time, you are in a trance. You exactly are not addressing your thoughts. You are painting and you are your painting. The painting and the artist, they merge. They don't know what exactly is happening in that trance moment. It's very meditative and transcendental. After you have finished the work, then you see what exactly has come out. So, this figure appears in many of her paintings, many of her works. And I would always say the subconscious of the artist is reflective. Drishya वो होता है जो पहले अदृश्य था. The invisible becomes visible for a visual artist. So that is the inner thought or the inner self. Every artist is searching her soul there, her freedom there. The journey is to know your own self, whether it is a figurative art or an abstract art. So I always say that it is a journey, it is a search, it is discovering yourself in the process. So that is what is happening in her painting. A painter is never because when the person is painting, they are in a trance, they will not be able to tell. But the other painter who has witnessed her journey of last 30 years, I can say that it is herself. And being aware, these days I'm always talking about Sigma women. All three Sigma women are sitting there. They are very independent. They are fiercely independent in here because we want to express what we want to. In that sense, the protagonist is herself, the feminist.
True.
We all have that. Because I have known her so well and we have spent time together, because of the COVID, and then I had an exhibition and I was staying in a house, so you get to know the person. Yeah. There's a different kind of understanding and bonding.
We have followed each other's work.
So,
please, Usha ji.
Yes. So this was the reason I think that you represent yourself in a way where you are not aware, and you become aware later.
That's very insightful.
That's very.
I think this is the beauty of Meena's work. She has, so many interpretations of what she has depicted in those pictures. Mm-hmm. And to me, it seems I interpreted it, my perception is, you didn't show her front, face. Because I think if you would have shown the face, one would correlate it with X, Y, and Z.
That's right.
So that will be opinionated, right? So here there is a static figure with a lot of transitions going on, and it is 256 shades from black, gray to black. Isn't it? So that is how we perceive. But that is the beauty of what you have done, your work, actually.
So we have somebody here who's an art collector and into AI. Sunil, how do you see it? He's making apps.
Question. Considering all you experts out here and you...
But you have an eye for art.
I have an eye for art,
powerful eye.
No, frankly, I've been trying to... I was pretty mesmerized by what I saw. It did a lot of introspecting, I was trying to relate the image with the words and trying to fit them there. So I was, I was trying to, I think I agree very much with the fact that not having a face was very important, because if you have a face, you then start relating to something, someone, somewhere, and it distracts you completely. So here the focus was, the words were important and related to that. In terms of AI, it was going through my thought that, if I had a prompt that I created, what would be that prompt be to get this kind of, deep soul-searching words coming out? I believe that AI does not have a soul. I still believe that's very far away for it to be sentient. So in my mind, I think AI, this is what differentiates AI from human beings, I think, today. Because what AI would give is it is something that you can read and say, I know this was done by AI. It's almost impossible to get something, you say, an AI to mimic the true human being. But it's actually worth a good exercise that I take some of your poems, create a prompt, as I call it, a multi-shot prompt, where I get AI to understand what is the kind of poems that a person like you creates, give it another thought, and say, now create one.
Take a book from me.
It would be fantastic to try that out, actually.
Please. Sirat and Sirat, Neera, and you, anything you have to say?
I will add one small point.
Uh-huh.
I was in Paris last June, and I saw immersive experience of David Hockney's work in Louis Vuitton Foundation Museum. They were doing a retrospective. I'm giving you another step how to go it further. The whole thing which you have shown it in a... Make it large in a dark room. We were sitting and then seeing the work. And the music is beautiful, but you can, as a filmmaker, I can say you can add a second layer of your poetry audible. We don't have to read. We just have to listen. That will become very, very impactful. It's only a suggestion. You may think of taking it further.
Okay. Sirat, anything you have to say?
Meena, I congratulate you for such a fascinating expression. I would put it in just one word. You've converted paintings into dance.
Thank you.
Into dance and movement.
You are so much
And
multi-talented, Sirat.
Meena and I think we met in 96 or 95. That's the time when I produced that multimedia show. Panorama India. Sorry, The Colors of Hope. Colors of Hope. And her daughter was my little star in the show. And Meena contributed painting and poetry, because this was a show which I did in aid of Latur earthquake victims. I had worked for 3 years in the villages with these tribal women, using art as the medium to rehabilitate. So the whole story, we brought it live in a multimedia show. It was a true story of revival of hope. So we had an exhibition section which depicted, first section was photography section, which was showing the development over 3 years. Second was craft in its old form, craft in its new form, and then the fourth, where Meena came in, was the painting and poetry, synchronizing with our stage sequences inside the auditorium. That was at City Fort. So we had the sequences, the performances, and the paintings and poetry coinciding with the true story. So that's where we first met, and we continued our bond beautifully beyond that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Meena. It was beautiful.
Anything, Neera?
Just one more thing. What, you used any particular software to?
I have used many softwares.
Okay.
Not one. I have used.
But it's beautifully done.
Photoshop has been the base.
Okay.
And then I have used many other.
No, it's been very, sensitively done, beautifully done.
Yeah. Neera, do you have to say anything? And upon Ajay?
Yeah, just, actually I found Sukrita's analysis extremely, actually it helped me understand the whole presentation. Because, we take all these impressions in, but it's not easy to form a consolidated view and she didn't consolidate anything. She left it in waves of happening, something ethereal. But my impression really, Meena, is that there was something very calming about the whole presentation. It calmed me. It made me feel very soothed.
That's important.
And, and then it goes back to our connection to Sujan Singh Park days when we were meant to calm ourselves. Whether we did or not, it's a long journey now. But the fact is that it calmed me, and the question that maybe Sukrita will be able to answer that is that, when images dissolve, there's always a conflict before they dissolve. They never really dissolve without something seeing it through with conflict and with fire, as this gentleman said. But why did it all remain calm? I don't know. Because in the reformation also, one didn't feel the anxiety, the stress, or the conflict. So I'm wondering whether, as Madhu said, some light phase has come into your life where even the formations and reformations are handled calmly. And that's very, very difficult. And that's what I wanted to say.
I think just
and
one
thank
word.
you.
I think the aspect that I would like to emphasize, and the word comes to me just as a kind of an insight, I could be wrong, but regenerative. You see, there isn't a finality about it. And all finalities are dangerous, So I think somewhere you end, there's another beginning.
Mandira wants to say something.
Mandira and वो भी कहना चाहते हैं. स्वाति भी कहना चाहते हैं.
So, Meena ji, I've come all the way. I'm Swati. We are Facebook friends, and I've been following Meena ji's work on Facebook.
And I've been following you.
So it was fascinating. I want to first thank you for especially the film, which I don't know whether it soothed me or not, but I can tell you one thing, that Sukrita ji spoke about the music, and you really stole the feeling in my heart, because as I was watching it and as I was listening to the music, I don't know why, but I could literally feel myself dissolving and the tears coming to my eyes. There was something that made me teary-eyed, not teary-eyed in a gut-wrenching kind of a way, but teary-eyed in a way that I can't explain. Somewhere I feel that it was quite a spiritual experience for me, watching the film. And though you say you didn't craft it well, then that is the ingenuity and the talent and the incredible, the fact that actually somewhere the words on that page and the images did match. And my favorite was the whole idea of dissolution. The fact that you said the liquid, the entire book could have been called Liquid Moments, because all of those images kept dissolving and reforming and dissolving and reforming. And isn't that what life is all about?
We are constantly, for my next book.
We're constantly dissolving, and we are constantly reforming. We're constantly reinventing ourselves, I think, every minute. And for me, this is what it was all about. And I want to answer your question, Maladi, from my own point of view, this whole thing about when it's black and white, because actually I have a counter question, which is is there anything ever black and white? There really isn't. I don't even think. I think if you look at black, it's probably made up of multiple colors, and so is white, you know.
When it is earthy down, it's black, and when all the colors merge in sky, they become white.
White.
Physics.
Exactly.
Pure physics.
Exactly.
Also, your focus is twilight.
Right. Right.
Somewhere,
Twilight, yes.
between the two.
Yes. So I loved it, and I want to say that I'm a tad jealous that people can be so horribly talented.
No, you yourself writes.
Hearty congratulations.
Thank you, Mandira.
My dear friend of 1995.
Yes.
When we first met at India International Center and Dr. H.K. Kaul introduced both of us.
Yeah.
Your book was Ignited Lines. As somebody mentioned fire, and your exhibition, your exhibition was on fire. All the lamps were glittering into different colors as your figure in the canvas has different colors but merging into a single point. As single point, you have written on time, space, energy, bringing physics and art, also music, all together in like dance of life in a pulsating universe. Dance of life in a pulsating universe is the term used by a poet on the different varieties of images dancing and coming to a single point. And as Usha said about the face, you're not bringing out the face brings the universality. All women are the same, and they are the part of Prakriti. Star, moon, butterflies, flowers that have been depicted in your film and work are nothing but you as a protagonist, as Sukrita pointed out, is a part of the universe and Prakriti, or the multiple use of nature.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Ajay, you want to say something?
I'm the only.
आप कुछ कहना चाहते हैं इधर? Do you want to say something?
Can I just speak like this? I'm the only non-artist here. I haven't a clue about art. I'm probably the only non-intellectual here. I just came as a friend. I was curious.
You are modest.
But it did hold my attention. I enjoyed particularly the music. Honestly, that for me was the highlight of the show. I don't have the aesthetic sense to appreciate many things like many of the others are doing, but
you're being modest.
I will make an effort in future. Thank you.
Robi wants to say something.
I'm Robi. For those who don't know, Malashi's husband. It's the other way around. But a couple of things. In one place, in one of the late presentations, the video, the shape of the woman moves and changes shape. Sideways. Right. So that was interesting, where everybody is talking of that one shape. That's one place where it shapes. Everybody is talking about butterfly.
Was that the circular one?
No, it just moved across. Yes. And of course, everybody's mentioned butterflies, but I also saw the dinosaurs. And finally, in your poetry, Arizona, about Arizona, it reminded me of Sedona.
Okay.
Because that is, it's shape, flowing shapes over time, and yet it's ultimately solidified and become rocks.
Yes.
And that made it very interesting. I wonder if, like Lake Louise in Banff, if you were inspired by anything in Arizona to talk about also. But excellent presentation, thoroughly enjoyable.
Thank you. आप कुछ कहना चाहते हैं?
Good evening. And last night I made a blunder. I'm going to go to Canada, and I just called her last night, and I stayed awake. I slept in the daytime so that I could talk to her at midnight.
No, that was okay.
And thank God I did that blunder. Because of that, I'm here today. And I'm an educationist, basically. My name is Dr. Aradhana Gupta. I was teaching in Egypt early. I was heading the modern school art department in Delhi before retiring. And right now I'm writing for NCERT, the first art book which is going to come in the curriculum. So I'm an artist turned into educationist, and I got married because of her, by the way. She doesn't know the story. So her father and my father-in-law, yeah. Another blunder. No, her father and my father-in-law were they were together in Birla Vidya Mandir, Nainital, and my father-in-law later became the principal. And my husband used to write very well. He used to really write poetries, and he kept on saying that I'm an artist, so he kind of used to talk about her a lot, and those days we did not know how to connect.
Her husband and I were very good friends. We have to bring it to an end. I think I'm getting
so I just want to,
So,
I know you were there in COVID when you did a program, and my students joined at 10 o'clock at night. So that is her power. Yes. That's what I want to say. I haven't seen the film. I can't say anything.
Thank you so much for bringing all of them.
Thank you.
So we'll bring this evening to a close now. Thank you very much, Meena Chopra, for giving us this beautiful presentation and such a lovely discussion from all of you, wonderful audience. And we're all going back with a variety of thoughts in our mind, and that's the best way to, best thing about this kind of an evening of poetry, music, and art, and the new technology that's making it possible in so many ways. So thank you very much, everybody. And Meena, the very best to you. We look forward to your next book.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you to the chair.